Beyond the Broom with the NSA, sharing information, innovations, and market trends shaping the commercial cleaning industry. We sweep away the noise to bring you the insights that matter.
We're back. Another Beyond the Broom podcast. It's a little different today. We're going to do a little something different, right, Debbie? We're going to do the Clean for the Roses, the running of the 152nd annual Kentucky Derby, and kind of take a look at behind the scenes with everything that happens at the event. Debbie, when the last photo is taken, that last mint julep is set down, and the last horse heads back to the barn, what do you think happens next?
Well, I'm guessing a whole lot of folks finally exhale. Some people are probably really happy, and some people are probably really sad. But then a whole other group has to clock in to clean up everything, I'm thinking.
Exactly. And today we're going to be talking about the real MVPs of the Derby week at Churchill Downs, the cleanup crews, plus a bunch of fun facts we'll sprinkle in that you can share while you're working or casually drop like, oh, you didn't know the infield is basically a full contact episode of Where Did This Come From?
And yes, we're going to keep it light today, but also real, because cleanup of the Derby is part logistics, part teamwork, and part Olympic sport, where the only medal is finding an uncrushed granola bar in your pocket.
Exactly. So welcome, everyone. Again, like I said, this is the Beyond the Broom podcast. This will be a short and sweet podcast made for the cleanup crews serving the Kentucky Derby week. I'm Ryan Lemire, and this is my co-host, Debbie Wakefield.
Thanks, Ryan. Huge thank you to the cleanup crews everywhere, but this week especially at the Kentucky Derby. They're helping thousands of people have a safe, welcoming experience.
Yeah, and when you think of Kentucky Derby, what do you think about?
The hats.
You think about the yes,
the hats,
the famous hats, the horses, and then the fastest 2-minute race in sports. But the event runs on behind the scene works as well. If the place looks effortlessly, it's because someone just did the sprint while holding the trash bag the size of a sleeping bag. You know how many sleeping bags are in that? How many people sleep in the infield there?
Oh. I can only imagine. Today we've got some fun facts and some quick trivia and a few I never knew that moments that you can share with your friends.
Yeah, so fun fact number one, Churchill Downs isn't just a track. During Derby weekend, it runs like a small city, thousands of moving parts, and then a giant reset the moment the crowd clears. There's so many people that attend this event. It's one of the worldwide events that everyone wants to get to once in their life. I believe that the attendance is around 150,000 individuals that go to that. Average ticket prices of $150 for the infield, which isn't too bad, to around $700 to $1,000 for seats. But the premium seats, where you see all the superstars and athletes and entertainers, they range between $1,600 and $4,000 per seat. And if it's raining, they got it's covered where they're at, so
yeah,
they don't have to deal with all the
they're
mud.
in the clubhouse seats, so
Yeah.
Yeah, so the infield, thousands of people pack in. I don't know, even though I think that's not a bad price if you can get those tickets at $150. That's a great price, but I don't know if I want to be in the infield packed in with everybody down there. Volunteers
It's a must. It's a must. You got to be in the infield. That's the best place to watch
I don't
it.
know. I don't know if I'm my claustrophobia might take over. Volunteers have described it afterwards as a war zone of cups, cans, water bottles, and the occasional mystery item that'll make you go, "Sir, how did you lose one shoe? Were you hopping out?"
I've known some people that lost some shoes on events at nights out.
That's a different story. That's a story for another time.
It's a pretty wild event. Crews have reported, filling 20 to 30,000 trash bags with a total waste estimate of around 180 tons in some past years. That's not picking up that's moving mountains. That's a ton of waste.
Yeah, 180 tons is the kind of number that'll make your broom file a formal complaint.
Yeah.
Like, I did not sign up to move a small asteroid.
Yes, it can be very overwhelming.
And here's the part that always blows my mind. After more than 150,000 fans, hundreds of workers can coordinate and have major areas turned around in about 5 hours. 5 hours. That's basically, we'll be right back after this short commercial break, except the commercial is them performing miracles.
It is pretty amazing how quickly and how choreographed that is. It feels like seamless. They get in, they get out. The race is only 2 minutes, right? The cleanup is the endurance event. It's fast enough to hit a 5 hour window, but uh, you have to be careful to do it with safety and do it right.
Yeah, and it's not just trash because you think of the zones, the grandstands and the seating, the concourses and restrooms, the hospitality areas, the outdoor pass, and that infield that just had all those thousands of people crammed in it. One official estimate in 2025 said that over 2,300 chairs were left behind in the infield. Like the crowd collectively said, you know what? I live here now.
Here's another quick fun fact question. What gets left behind? More cups and cans, chairs, or truly random stuff like shoes and creative disguised alcohol containers? Been there.
I think the trick answer is all of the above. The infield cleanup stories are legendary. Chairs by the thousands, random clothing, single shoes, and containers people thought were sneaky.
Yeah, it's the lost and found. Could you imagine seeing what's in there? It
Oh,
isn't just a box. It's basically a whole personality.
yeah.
A huge piece of this, though, on a serious note, is the community. Local high school teams have done this for decades. They're the ones that are going in and actually helping with the cleanup. People call them human vacuum cleaners because they line up early Sunday morning and just move section by section like a Roomba, but with the better teamwork and way more sarcasm.
Yeah, so all the volunteers, all the cleanup is done by volunteers. And a lot of these schools, for a lot of these schools, this is their biggest fundraiser of the year. Churchill Downs makes donations to the groups in exchange for the labor, money that helps pay for things like soccer uniforms, warm ups, or new jerseys. And the work is no joke. Crews of around 150 students can go through 2 to 3,000 industrial trash bags just clearing debris.
Yeah, it truly is amazing the work that goes behind the scenes on making this event, spectacular and what we see on TV, how cool it is. So, with all that in mind, let's talk about the cleanup crews. Um, actually, what they're actually doing during the weekend and why their work is way more skilled than people realize.
Yeah, the cleanup isn't just picking up trash, it's fast resets, detailed checks, and keeping the whole environment safe.
Yeah, they're emptying, could you imagine how many bins are there?
Ugh.
They're emptying all those bins before the overflow. They're swapping liners out. They're collecting recyclables, that when possible. They're wiping down high touch surfaces, spotting trip hazards, responding to spills, restocking paper goods, and doing the kind of, quick communication that keeps small problems from becoming large ones and really getting out of hand and keeping people looking at it and saying, wow, this is neat.
Yeah, and there's so many people there. It's a place where safety really matters. A wet patch of concrete, a crushed cup on the stairs, a loose napkin near the doorway. Those are tiny until they're not.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned it before, but when someone asks you what you do for your job, we do choreography, right? Because the timing matters. When the rush hits, when the race ends, when a section clears, when the next wave is coming, right?
Yeah, yeah, and your best tools aren't just brooms and bags. It's the quick heads up. I've got section 112. I'm running liners. Spill near the gate. You need an extra hand on the stairs. That's how you move as a team.
Never ending. And when we throw alcohol in the mix, everyone gets a little bit more loose and a little less cleanliness, and they kind of don't pick up after themselves. So you spot those kind of areas and you get it cleaned up quick, like you said before it turns into a major problem. And if you're assigned anywhere near horses area, you already know quiet movements No sudden noises. You have to follow the posted rules. Horses and athletes, and the calmer the environment, the safer it is for everyone.
Yeah, so basically in the barn area, your best impression is polite ninja. Quiet feet, calm voice, and zero surprise tap dancing.
Yeah, you do not want to spook those horses and get these trainers and owners fired up. It needs to be calm in the barn areas. So that's kind of what you have to do. There's a lot of moving parts to it.
Yeah, and speaking of those horse areas, fun fact that is also just astonishing, there can be about 1,400 horses on site. From the 48 barns, crews remove roughly 7 truckloads of manure and spent hay every day. That's about 165 yards each. That's like a whole different category of cleanup. Like if trash bags are level 1, this is colossus of clean.
Yeah, and that's kind of a fun fact. Another one: the cleanup crews don't just find trash, right? There's all kinds of stuff they find. They find hidden treasures, lost money, souvenir derby glasses, clothing. Even there's been reports of people finding winning tickets, right? You gotta imagine you're in the infield, you're digging in your pockets, you lose your ticket, you're not paying attention to it, you're reaching for another adult beverage. One student reportedly found about $2,500 in unclaimed winnings, which is either heartbreaking or proof that some people place bets the same way they lose sunglasses, right? Confidently and repeatedly.
Yes, really. And I even heard, I know that they mentioned some of the derby glasses, the souvenir derby glasses. One of the adult beverage companies, who I won't mention here, is having a $5,000 mint julep cup made this year. It's like gold plated
Nice.
or something, but it's a $5,000 derby cup. Can you imagine buying one of those and then leaving it somewhere? Um,
Yeah. Yeah, you can run into broken glass, sharp edges, weird containers, so gloves and grabbers matter. But yes, people have found everything from single shoes to random clothing to containers that are basically saying, I'm definitely not alcohol in the least believable way possible.
I would love to see like a collection of all those hidden alcohol containers, right? And with the mint julep and the souvenir cups everywhere, you'll see lots of cups and glasses, some kept, some tossed, some left behind.
Yeah, and that's like we said, you kind of have to be in the shadows while doing it. Doing the cleanup, the soundscape, it has to be. There's 150,000 people screaming, and you're there to make sure they're having a good time and clean up after them. So between the hoofbeats, the announcements, the music, crowd noise, communication can get tricky. So they are using radios and handheld signals to make sure that everything seems seamless, and folks, like I said, they're in the shadows, in the background, taking care of everyone. So as we wrap up, here's the big truth: when the venue looks great, it's because hard work has made it happen, quietly, steadily, and often without thanks in the moment.
Yeah, and
So
it's,
that's
the cleanup crews there doing it for the crowds there, right? For cleanup. But remember, there's a ton of people watching on TV too, so everything has to look ship shape while it's on for the viewing audience as well. So we want to thank all the cleaners who make special events like this or just our day-to-day lives better. By the way, Ryan, who looks good in the Derby this year?
well, currently there's 20 horses, and that's as of Tuesday. Today, 28th. So something, things are going to happen throughout, but as of right now, there's 20 horses in the race. It's pretty wide open. It's a $5 million purse. They currently have Renegade as the favorite, 9-2. Commandment is the second, 5-1, and Further Ardo is 6-1. So those are your top three horses as of now. Uh, you can sprinkle money throughout, which is what I'll probably do. Pick 2, 3, 4 horses, maybe throw in a trifecta within there. But back in 2002, I put some money on I'll Have Another. So I kind of like to look at fun names, ones that, not a long shot, but, middle of the pack type horses. So I just like to look at fun names. The two that stand out to me is Right to Party, 30-1. and then So Happy 15-1. So those are some names I'll probably take a look at. Renegade does look promising, but you want to get the most bang for your buck potentially. So So Happy sounds like that could be my top pick.
Well,
But we'll see. It'll
come
change.
on. Who wouldn't be excited if So Happy won the race,
A
right? That
lot
that
of
just seems
people.
perfect. So Happy.
That's that's kind of how it works. But it should be another fun race. I haven't checked the weather. Obviously, that's going to change as well. So there's a lot of moving pieces, just like the cleaners are out there moving around, getting things taken care of and looking good. And hopefully it's not raining that day. It's nice, sunny, 72 degrees, and we have a good race. But either way, it's always a fun time of year.
Yep. Well, down the stretch, this is Beyond the Broom. So for everybody, get your hat and your mint julep ready, and we're off. Take
We
care,
are
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Beyond the broom.